All right, we're in round two of the 2026 Sansan North Megacities. We have Ari from Atlanta, team meeting of the Mines against Ketzol, local almost Bay Area player. He's a trooper, comes out, drives like 2+ hours, I think, to make it to big tournaments. Um, we've got them playing round two here, and
Yeah.
on
Oh,
commentary is myself,
this,
Night Ride.
sorry, and Winston. Hi, Tom Sauce. I just noticed that extremely messed up move from Ari where you just flashed Fencer at the Oko player. Very messed up power move, but I appreciate it. Just
Yeah,
threw it
this
on the
is
table right in front.
yeah.
Show him
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. The matchup Loup versus Oko going to be an exciting one here. For those of you who don't know, commentator Thomas Haas here, Winston is a I don't know what I should call you. I don't know how nice of the words I should use are,
Yeah,
but is an Oko player. That's
yeah,
how I'm
no,
going to be polite here, and is pretty acclaimed at that as well.
I'm an eggy guy. One of the egg boys. Yeah, actually, and it's pretty great. I have spoken to Ketzol about Oko. We have fewer Jinteki players in the region than I expect. But of them, the Oko players do get together in our secret cabals and whisper dark secrets to each other. And Ketzol and I have discussed Oko to some degree. So I'm excited to see what kind of build he's brought today. This is not an easy matchup for sure in almost any form, but Oko does still have the gas to pull it off if we get
But I
lucky
think
with
we're
shit.
seeing. I think the reason we see so much Lu in the meta is in response to kind of asset lists like Oko being tough for other runners, where Lu can say, "I'm totally happy to trash an asset every turn, gives me my
Hmm.
ID value," and it looks like this list is even playing Fencer Fueno, which is dripping
Hmm.
you 1 credit a turn for dealing with assets.
Yep.
Um, so it seems pretty.
Uh,
It's like a runner pretty teched out for this corp. So it'll be exciting to see
wow.
how it goes.
And I'm realizing that Ari mulled a hand that looked pretty decent to me. And I think it's probably just because of it, like Lou's base level is pretty high, so you're looking for something decent, and you're probably looking specifically for Fencer or Hannah, because that hand had it had Boomerang, it had Creative, it had Rising Tide, and Steel Skin. And so it's like a lot of tools, a lot of draw, and like money to rebound from trashing things. So a surprising mold, but like also in some degrees like pretty disciplined, right? Knowing, oh god, let's go.
Okay,
Install, install, install.
this is the Oko turn one.
Yeah.
Well, if you're Oko, what assets do you want to put on the table here? Turn one, your best case scenario, Winston.
Uh that's an interesting, oh gosh. Solidarity is a
Uh,
great drop. It's an
wow.
interesting question because you kind of drop whatever you have. Cohort.
Okay,
Yeah,
cohort
that's
going down. Cohort responsible for a lot of gas for Oko normally. Gives you
yeah,
an Oko counter, gives you money, gives you cards.
solidarity. Wow. So that's 2 cards and a credit back when Lou trashes with solidarity. And
And
then
creative.
play
Yeah,
creative.
back up in the
So I guess
money.
that turn was draw, draw, check, creative.
I think draw, install, solidarity, check,
Oh,
create.
right, right, right.
Um,
I was gonna say I often install whatever assets are available. There is the one exception is cohort. Sometimes I do like to try to defend, but it becomes a little bit it becomes a little iffy, right? Like if you just don't have any ice in your hand, then oh, a hedge fund.
drawing
That's not a
twice
very
from hedge fund.
that's not a very common include in a lot of OCO lists. Hedge fund is usually doesn't make slots in terms of like your operations being just Han size, petty cash, and measure response, or cultivates is becoming more popular. Hedge fund often implies that there's like bigger ice involved too, like a Teeny's, Lion's Mane, stuff like that, that you want to be able to res on turn one without needing to like grind through a petty cache,
Yeah,
which
and
can
as a
handle
player
those.
who a FUT that we didn't want to res. Interesting. And
Yeah.
it's going down. As a player who does not enjoy playing as Egg, but is forced to play against Egg a whole lot of the times, I would say when I see the hedge fund get played, my immediate reaction is I don't have to worry about Bladderwort for a
Mm,
while, but I definitely don't. I maybe don't have to worry about Bladderwort at all. Um,
yeah. Yeah,
Mostly
that's
because
totally
these
fair.
decks, yes, it looks like this deck wants to make money as opposed to the Bladderwort ones, which want to kind of
Yeah.
dance between low and high credits sometimes.
I wonder if this deck is playing Front Company. That is a possibility. I think.
Hmm.
Okay, we finally have a piece of ice on the board, and it's going in front of a newly installed card. Uh, last click credit.
Yeah, what do you read this turn one installed card that has yet to
I mean,
yet
best scenario for Oko, it's cohort.
okay.
Yeah.
But
Um,
maybe wasn't protectable so far, so it hasn't been rezzed.
well, there was already one that was slammed, right? So
Yeah.
the first turn was cohort, this other server that we haven't even seen, and FUT all three at the same time.
Mhm.
And that reads kind of like just trying to shell game your way to having a cohort trigger, and unfortunately, cohort was checked. So,
Yeah.
ooh, see a
Bravado.
bravado.
Interesting influence spend. And we
I
also
like,
see
oh yeah,
okay. Boturez. So we're right about the big ice there, Winston.
yeah,
So this is a pretty decent res just for the two Oko counters. Would you say so?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And if you're defending a cohort, then you are still getting to 5 credits.
Oops. That glare that looks I think that's a strike fund alt. Yeah.
Yes,
And is that
and
Buzzsaw maybe is the other card we're losing to
I think
damage?
so. Yeah,
Okay, and we're choosing to bottom the strike fund off of the buffer drive.
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I wonder, does the buffer drive signal that this is an Audrey list, do you think?
I think so. I think so. So we saw a buzzsaw, and so we saw this buzzsaw. We have a bravado, and the solidarity badge also kind of puts
Sure.
a little
Yeah.
bit more. Yeah,
And the Fueno, you want to be trashing things.
yeah. So it might be a full rig with. Oh, so then this does almost certainly plays Keiko, right? Because you don't have the MU to play Audrey and all of the breakers. So this is probably just like a Doom rig Lou with Keiko and money.
That sounds that sounds very plausible. Okay, and we're drawing up no trash this turn. So I wonder
Right.
if
Cohort. There it
okay,
is.
the protected card is the cohort. Yeah, I like this. I think this gives a good like consistent drip of value to
Yep.
the Oko player. Let's see
One
if
thing
we're
that's worth noting is that Egg has 2 counters at the beginning of this turn, and it's often worth thinking about whether you want to trigger Egg first or Cohort first. And general heuristic says Egg first, so you have more cards. But oftentimes, if you have like a petty cache or something like that, like Cohort triggering first is also pretty optimal. Right?
right.
There's sometimes just cards that you know you are going to Cohort. So,
I think we
and I
switched to
think,
dash on that Oko.
and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and I think
And
we
we
did.
drew an agenda. I think a 4-2 I saw,
Hmm.
but I wasn't sure what it was.
A 4-2 would have to be, I imagine, see how they run.
I maybe let them dream, right?
Oh. Oh, true. True. Yeah.
But yeah, see how they run would be very fun.
No, no, no. I mean Let Them Dream is definitely the better one out of those two. But you don't know in Oko. I find that sometimes the slotting Let Them Dream messes with your already pretty tight influence in a way that that's like a little disruptive, but it's usually worth it. 3 influence to reduce your agenda density by 3 is pretty big.
Right.
Okay, so we iced up centrals. We're feeling a little bit more stable as an Oko player now.
Yeah, it looks like both sides have quite a few threats and value engines going.
Hannah hit the table and
Okay,
was
it's
I think.
Moonfall. We're rezzing the
Oh,
Moonfall and using it.
oh, wow.
I wonder if we've got agendas in the bin maybe, or we just want the
Or something
Oko
in hand. Yeah, something in hand maybe
in hand
also.
we're not okay with.
Yeah, so something in hand goes away, giving 1 Oko token and
Yeah, but I
both
think this is I mean
Fuji
okay.
Fuji. Yeah.
We have 2 Fujis, one in the bin, one in hand looks like. Um, and no tag from Hannah since the run was neither successful nor unsuccessful.
Hmm. I don't love moon pooling without a good target, but here we're denying Lou, we're denying Solidarity Badge, and we're getting 1 Oko token for 3 credits, so.
Okay.
Oh.
We have a price here.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
the price has hit Daily Cast, Strike Fund, Audrey, and is that
I
another
think the
price?
price. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the price. Yeah.
Okay. Glare's our worst enemy today, but I think Winston and I have seen Netrunner cards enough times in our lives. Interesting.
Yeah.
We don't want the Audrey here. Okay.
and we're talking this
I
turn
wonder
from
if there's
Ketzol.
enough other breakers in hand, or maybe we don't like Audrey's breakpoints in this matchup.
It might also be it might be a MU thing as well, but I am a little surprised to see that Audrey didn't hit the
No
table,
programs.
given
There's no
given that
programs.
you, yeah. Because you
So
have, and we just saw that Steel Skin flashed again too, right? So we have that buffer drive. Having Audrey feels nice, but two strike funds did go to the bottom, so it's not like we're cycling those anytime soon.
I think this is also
Cohort,
like a new meta thing where
mm,
in new meta we don't have access to Ashen, and so
right.
maybe in the matchups where you're expecting a lot of damage, like an O code that has a lot of money, like you're not comfortable with necessarily pitching too many cards to Audrey so early.
Interesting. Okay, so fully iced against no breakers, and then we clicked for credits. I think.
Looks
Yeah,
like
we
it.
did.
I wonder if there's a kind of regenesis from hand situation going on.
Were that the case, then Moonpool
Yeah.
wouldn't have
Probably.
tossed cleaning archives would have been nice, but Moonpool likely wouldn't have tossed in another agenda, right?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that makes sense.
Um,
Maybe we're just setting up for a future play around that.
I think
Given that
staying,
no breakers are showing.
yeah. I think we're kind of happy to turtle for a little bit here. It's not great to let Loup charge, but cohort and Oko triggers should be able to give you adequate tempo. Wow, and the third
Well, and
price.
also like the solidarity badge and the Hannah and the Lou that we were saying are so good in this matchup haven't really been giving that much value.
Oh,
Okay, wow, high
this
values here.
yeah.
This is like playing a moshing. You get the steel skin trigger and the strike fun trigger, and you
Wow.
choose um, whichever copy of Lagu you want to install. If,
Band the price.
I wonder if we're even considering not installing. No, we're just considering the bottom. Okay, so it's a strike fund getting bottom. So yeah, seems like we want the money at the end of the game.
Mamie hits the table from
Maybe
Paladin, and also correct me if I'm wrong. I think, well, maybe, but I think I saw another buffer drive in. Yeah, that's a pinhole, and then there might be another buffer drive in hand too. Oh,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
there it
just
is.
hit the bin.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
there
just
you
got
go.
rid of it. Just got rid of it. Okay.
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 This Lagu will give a good. So this is one of the in round one we saw that Lou was clicking to draw a lot. Lagu is one of the answers to that problem, and especially
Yeah.
with buffer drive already down, looks like Ari has spent the extra influence to go to 2 buffer drive to give some
Yeah.
insurance. You can just install Lagu if you see it early.
Cohort for a card. Mandatory draw. Now Lago makes me want to flinch and install a bunch of servers, and we do get 2. I think we okay.
Oh, we trashing the twinning and bottoming it and getting a card.
Potentially one of 2 or 3. I think a lot of lists on 2.
Okay.
Oh heck. Okay, so install res font. What a turn.
You read this face down in the remote as an agenda, given there's a FUT here?
This is a moment to push Regenesis if you feel confident. You saw the Audrey get bottom too, so that helps a little bit, right? If you didn't see the Audrey, I mean, if the Audrey was on table, this play would be impossible.
Sure. Well, I mean, I don't know. If you see the Audrey get bottom, do you assume that they don't have access to a breaker, or do you assume the opposite, that they're bottoming Audrey because they don't need Audrey,
Yeah, that's
Um,
fair.
let's see. So it looks like a Hannah run to deal with this FUT is
I think
an easy
actually
high value play, but is it a distraction?
we don't want to hand a run first. I was just gonna say the FUT gives you a pinhole window.
Wow, this is a good play. So
Yeah.
let's Ari check the remote potentially, or maybe we want to go for the
Kill cohort. Kill cohort. Yeah.
Yeah. Going
That
for the
was the
cohort.
thing. Icing archives made it so cohort was safe from pinhole. This FUT just removed that safety net, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then now that this backdoor has been used, now we can maybe
Now
Hannah
we
run
can
the
Hannah
FUT.
run the
Yeah.
FUT. Although we don't get our solidarity badge and Lou triggers, but we can still deal with.
But the pretty boy dies. So
Indeed.
It's important. Yeah.
Yeah, Foot can be so swingy and is powerful both as an offensive and defensive tool. So
Yeah. And it's also ultimately a Oko token
yeah. Okay,
source.
so we might be calling out. Okay, we're calling out
Wow.
the Regenesis play and going for a boomerang. I don't know. How many cards do we have in hand? Is this safe against Anemone with Fuji in the bin?
I think there's a steel skin in hand, so I
Okay,
think we should be okay.
probably.
And we don't res, and we show.
Okay,
Ooh.
that was a successful call out on the archives run.
Oh my
Wow, so we're
goodness.
taking a Fuji first,
And then Culture
and then
second.
there's a Sericulture that
Sure.
will also go to hand.
Wow. Oh, this is.
Boomerang is still on that archive sites. So we are losing a Gourmand and a Buzzsaw to the Fuji, bottoming the Buzzsaw, and then Sericulture coming to hand.
Well, this is gonna be tough.
So strong turn from Ari here, reading
that was-
reading that archives was a little juicy, taking out the Fut first, taking out the cohort as well.
Yeah, really, really good Netrunner. That was a turn that was like sequenced entirely ahead of time, and it paid off.
Yeah.
Now that Loup is at 5, Corp's gonna have a rough time. Fuji is no longer online, and that really changes the math.
Say what you mean about that?
Once you're at 5, you can't die to Fuji, right? Touching it. So
No.
you no longer need to count like, oh, Anemone and then Fuji and then blah blah blah. It's just like the moment you touch Fuji, you win. So once
Yeah.
Fuji turns offline, Oko's defensive strengths are much worse. Log a Keiko and draw a card.
All right. So.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if that is a bait or a signal that there's another agenda in archives or just prep for later, but we are double iced archives. We don't like that there's a boomerang on the innermost ice there.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
making
that's
more money. Hedge fund being played.
I think that's good. We saw a Lions main in archives as well, so I think this is just a big ice deck, right? So we can defend whatever's out there behind that Bodo and behind whatever's next to server 2, and then we've installed another presumably large ice over the boomeranged one, so archives is possibly safe. I'm assuming it's probably something like Bodo in front of
Yeah, could be.
something else, something that wasn't Simek.
And yeah, it's a good point. We know that the boomerang dice is very unlikely to be Simak. Yeah, but it looks like there's no breakers showing yet, and there the echelon just comes down. Not echelon, not an efficient breaker when you only have one, and rising tide. So Ari has been holding those power cards in hand.
A dangerous proposition compared to
sure.
whereas last game with Christian on Loup versus Zwicky, sandbagging your important cards is good. Against Egg, it's a little bit more dangerous. With Buffer Drive, less so.
Buffer Drive, yeah. Buffer Drive was the insurance. Let him do that.
Lion's Mane.
Okay.
It does say
this is an expensive Lion's Mane to break with Echelon only at 2 strengths. I think that's 3. The thing is 6 credits to fully break.
2 strength. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, okay, we're paying the 6. Breaking makes sense. Don't want to give Oko more counters. Do you think that's an agenda?
Either could be. It is.
Is the so interesting. So does that tell you the other card is not Regenesis? We thought this one was Regenesis. But is this a double Regenesis?
It makes me think the other one is also a Regenesis.
Looking like a true egg player.
Yeah, but I think what it really tells us is if you can break that Archives Ice, you win the game right here.
Right. That's a great point.
Oh. Playing Steel. Oh, I guess Mamie had credits.
Yeah, 6 credits is maybe not feeling safe to run the remote, run archives. Maybe not feeling like you have to take that risk. And Mamie's on 3, so
yeah,
we want to use up the Mamie credits here.
The board has neither cohort nor FUT, and you are at 6 points now against Corp, so setting up and using clicks and turns to become unassailable is definitely correct. Yeah.
Doing sure gamble math off of Mamie, always much harder than you would think.
Yeah, it's true.
Playing petty cash, it looked like from hand.
From hand. And then click to draw.
Choose draw.
Oh, you know what that card behind Bodo could be is Moonpool.
Yeah.
It could be a turn where Moonpool sends the Fuji into archives at the
Yeah.
end of runner's turn. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's
Not
always a scary line for Oko to get around Regenesis's limitations by using Moonpool on the runner's turn.
Yeah, and that card not being rezzed tells us it's not cohort, obviously. It also probably it would have been rezzed if it were fought. And so we're not looking at cohort, we're not looking at fut. It could be powers that be, hostile, Moonpool, and I feel like Moonpool is the most effective play, so.
What do you need to see if you're Ketzol here to feel like you can, make it back from the 6-0 deficit here?
Moonpool and Urtica Cipher, I guess. Yeah, jam Urtica behind Anemone, res Moonpool,
Running
put 2 more.
archives,
Okay,
Anemone
so
res here.
we're
I think
Anemone was
we played a steel skin or last turn,
yeah,
so I think
yeah.
there may only be one steel skin left in the deck.
Okay, so discard
Getting
a
an
card,
Oko token from the
damage.
discard. We'll get another Oko token from the trashes here. Losing Taka and daily casts. I feel like those are pretty good hits, and I found
not
that in the Oko matchup, you want kind of you want to maximize money from small number of cards, and daily casts and companions both give you very high number of total credits for cards spent.
Absolutely.
So it gives you more cards to use as HP.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're
We missed
continuing.
an
We're
Oko.
rezzing spin. It's a spin.
Okay.
Another way to to protect archives.
Yeah. We
Um,
missed an Oko token, I think. We did not get one
That should
from.
be a second from the anemone damage.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, easy one to forget.
yeah.
Ari's done a
Spinning
great job
card.
of being able to manage the credits here with
Mhm.
this agenda steal is making Mamie big.
That's a great point. I think I often, not being as well versed in Anarch, especially not around Companion Anarch, I think I often trip when it comes to when it comes to Companion management. But Ari's been doing a great job.
Yeah, interestingly, we haven't found the Fueno yet. So the companion that would be,
Hmm.
that is maybe most helpful in this matchup.
Hmm.
Not in action yet.
Yes and no, right? This Oko has turned out to be 6 to res ice and key assets instead of just naked servers everywhere. So the
That's true.
Wayno would have been useful, of course, but the Mamie Paladin are
Yeah.
dripping
Yeah.
credits just fine, I think.
Okay, but we do have another daily cast coming down, so it's a good time to do it. No threats on the board from the corpse side.
Yep.
And actually, one of the interesting things is the archives. The archives risk has kind of been diffused by this anemone being rezzed
Yeah.
already. Okay, I think we
Okay.
might have fixed the Oko token problem because
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe we couldn't see the second one because Ketzol able to use
Yeah.
Exability.
So we have our Oko and we have our mandatory. Hopefully that card injection gives Ketzol some solutions or at least some additional problems to give the runner. Right now, Ari playing fundamentals and aiming to not die will have a pretty high chance of winning this game. So Ketzol needs to find that line out if possible.
It is, I mean, fortunately for Ketzol, the ice is still pretty expensive. Like being able to drag the runner through this ice is a
Yeah.
powerful tool that Ketzol has access to. Both,
Yeah. Photo. Mm-hmm.
yeah, Lion's Bane costs 6, Botu costs 5, I think here.
More now, I believe. Photo's at threat.
Oh, right, we're at threat. So this Boto is
Yeah.
very big. Yeah. Is there even a rising tide in the bin? I was assuming there was one, but there might not be.
There may not be. Yeah. I wonder if the rising tides are slightly decreased in numbers in this kind of list because of the Audrey slot.
Yeah, that seems quite possible.
Drip, drip, drip.
Especially because Loup 45 card minimum. Sorry, 40 card minimum.
Yeah. Drip, 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 and then a big think. Let's
Yeah,
see.
what are
We have
you
our.
doing here? Are you charging this remote or not yet?
It's a pretty good question. I think you can afford to charge this, right? Because really and that's
Okay.
worth doing as well, right? Because you're
Yeah.
mostly afraid of getting 4
Yeah.
points behind. Yeah.
Yeah. Ari's saying here it's okay if you score 2 points. It's okay if you
Hmm.
score 1 point. It's not okay if you score 4 points via Regenesis.
Yep, and that's pretty fair. And we saw another cohort humanoid flipped up, I think, right? So
Wow,
that's more
that's
gas that I saw
humanoid
there.
might have been. I see that as two possible things. One is there's already a humanoid in the remote. We don't think we want to trigger two, or the other might be that we had an OCO where we saw two agendas and a humanoid and had to throw out the humanoid.
Keiko hits the table.
Okay, we now have MU if we want to put down Audrey
Mm-hmm.
or the Gramons in hand. Yeah, it's interesting that Ari did not prioritize putting the Gramond down earlier. It should be kind of 3 credits of value on a lot of these trashes.
Right, right. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Ari. Thank you for positioning your board correctly. Very good. Oh, that's a real one right there. Okay, Lago triggers, hits, gamble. Wow, we have Oko Glacier going on here. And we can kind of afford to do it this way because of the lack of twinning. I think twinning hitting the table changes this dynamic significantly. But right now, with only single accesses, RA still has to play sort of like zone control instead of like aiming for the last point. Which is fine too, right? With 15 credits, you can thinking about it, right? If I'm thinking in terms of runner, in the order of operations, it's like you want to eventually get twinning down and then win the game. And as long as you don't spend so many credits that you can't do that, you're at the right amount of money. And I think with the Paladin, the Mamie, the Keiko, the Daily Cass, it's really hard to lock out runner with even these two big servers.
Well, I mean, in a timed tournament setting like this, I think there's even an argument that oh, interesting. We see a pinhole played. We'll put a pin in that thought for a second. I'm not
Yep.
sure where it looks like archives. Yeah, running archives, paying 1 to pass through anemone, and Ketzol considering the res. Is this like a way to? This looks like a way to decide. Do I need to run the remote and potentially
Mhm.
saving a whole bunch of credits with Botu now at 6 strength. Okay, no, we're seeing the other card.
Oh.
It is just a Bladderwort that looks like. Okay,
Oh.
Bladderwort going down. We get some triggers. We get Loup, we get Solidarity Badge. Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
So a great way for Ari to check whether or not he needs to run the remote. If there is an agenda, um, maybe he still doesn't need to run the remote, but can make an informed choice. But just taking down the Bladderwort instead.
It also turned a Mamie credit into a real one through Keiko, washed that credit, which is pretty nice.
It's true.
But here we are challenging this non-Bladderwort server. And
Yeah, so he's
that's
going for the line. Looks like an anemone res.
yeah.
Ketzal. Okay,
Okay.
let's get him rest.
2 tokens.
Yeah, this situation where I think the runner can just choose to, doesn't need multi-access. Can sit back and say, "I will make sure that the corp cannot win," right? And you can just touch any point you touch wins you the game here. There's no risk of dying really.
Yeah. Ooh.
Losing a
Oh.
rising tide in
Oh
Gormand.
no. Oh no.
Losing money on this Botu res that's coming up. We're bottoming the Gourmand natural choice
Right.
there. Rising Tide up to 2 strength now, I think.
Yeah.
Breaking Anemone for 1. Breaking Botu for will take 7. Would have loved to have the Taka here, I think, but
Yeah. Taka or even that tungsten got bottomed earlier.
right. Tungsten would be big here.
So we're saying that it's reasonable to run zone control, but if Ketzol makes Ari run through this Boto maybe even one more time without it paying off, That is a scoring window opening, but
Absolutely. Yeah.
it might not be okay. And now we
There
have
it
a
is,
bladderwort.
scragged for the bladderwort. Good
Ooh,
bait by Ketzol here, and
yeah,
that was a lot of money to spend for a trash that you maybe can't afford. Yeah.
that's
Are you
massive.
saying he's got to leave it?
Leaving it is fine. It's not going to trigger, and that server needs to be overinstalled to be effective too.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's fine.
Totally.
Looking through our heap.
I think the main benefit here of Ari really is that this anemone can no longer be rezzed. I mean,
Yeah,
the anemone is already rezzed, so
yeah.
um, you know how much the remote costs. You know how much you need to make to be able to challenge the remote. And now the kind of burden is again on Ketzal to mount a some kind of advantage here.
Yeah, and it needs to happen fast. I'm feeling like within the next few turns, Twinning will hit the table, get one counter, check R&D. At this point in the game, Oko's R&D is starting to get stacked,
That's
just by
true.
nature of the ID. So once Twinning hits the table, it's going to be pretty easy to dig R&D for a win.
Well, it's also the
So
case that Ari doesn't have many cards left in the stack, and so I wonder if you
hmm,
can't even afford to actually if you don't have twinning already, I don't know if you can afford to draw through your deck and give up your HP against the third anemone or maybe a Fuji score you have to let through.
it'll kind of happen naturally through. Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Okay, so we're playing a measured response here with 5 credits left.
Yep, yep.
Um, Ari's got 8, just enough to pay through it. Okay, we're taking the damage. And
Mm,
there's steel skin in there, but doesn't matter. If there is another measured here, we'll have to pay 8 to survive.
choosing with the bottom. Laundry makes sense.
Interesting. Okay,
Measured,
just
install. Oh no,
install.
no, not even. Sorry, is that still Bladderwort? I think it
And
is,
that's still
right?
Bladderwort. That's the unresed Bladderwort, yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't rezzed, but I guess it. Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't rezzed, but I guess now it could trigger, right?
Yeah, I think the idea is you want to threaten rezzing it specifically when you would trigger it, because that
Hmm.
means you're at less credits. And so this measured may be a way to. It's sort of an interesting measure because it's not only value, but it also drops your credit total so that you can
Yeah,
threaten some Bladderwort damage.
yeah. It's almost saying, "Hey, if you make me res R&D ice, I'll shoot you." Right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a pretty interesting position that Ari's in, but and making change just to continue that threat. Um,
Companions pretty stacked up. I think Paladin maybe
yeah,
both on 3 looks like.
looks like we're about to install another one too. That slight reorganization of the board.
That might be the twinning coming down. I can't imagine.
Oh,
Nope. Drawing. Okay, it looks like 5 cards in the stack, maybe.
so it's like we
Yeah,
saw Sure
every block.
Gamble, we saw Tungsten, and there's like a bunch of strike funds lying around. Although those might have been drawn by now.
It's true. Yeah, every Bladderwort hit is going to
Here it
hurt. Okay,
is,
twinning
making
could
space
be
for
the
the
line.
twinning. Yep, 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 yep.
So I'm guessing we'll see the line you were saying where probably run R&D here. Right, Buzzsaw coming
Buzzsaw,
down, spending our
number
money,
one. Think
getting a
it's on.
twinning counter. Keiko dollar. Okay. Is there a way to spend the Mamie? Is there a second bravado? I haven't been counting influence, but it seems possible.
Possible, yeah.
Okay, no, we're just charging the remote, the lion's mane remote.
Wow.
So we probably installed the twinning this way because we don't want to lose it to damage. No
And we
res on
also,
that.
mhm, mhm.
So that
And we may as well trigger Paladin for that buzzsaw anyway. So 20 comes down.
it's not
We
clear whether I mean this to me this reads like it must be an asset in the remote if there was no res.
yeah.
Okay,
We
just
can the thing is, I think, oh, and see, this is a double-edged sword. This is a double-edged sword, right? Because spin is rezzed and popped, but we're waiting. We didn't use the twinning run this turn because we want to check that remote. And we're also happy to charge twinning one more time, and now R&D is even more dense, right? This
Right.
is... I'm sweating if I'm Oko at this point. I'm doing two things. I'm sweating and I'm trying desperately to think of a way, how can I just kill this guy? Because I don't think I can score out at this point.
Sure.
I'm
Okay,
hoping to
we're
better.
letting Mamie die. Interesting. So
Yeah.
those strike funds and sure gambles we know are in there don't get the juicy bonus.
It's probably
Oh,
fine.
the 3 credits running R&D may
Yeah.
not be that easy. We've
Yeah.
only seen one Botu.
Yeah.
Okay, now we res the Bladderwort. It does not give due damage, but
It's okay.
it's okay.
Make a couple bucks maybe.
Yeah, at this point, if we're trying to kill, we might want money. Interestingly, the measure did not get shuffled back.
Yeah. Kind of tough here. It's tough also partially because there's no... Oh, never mind. I was going to say it's kind of hard to get that second Oko token, but Hansei solves that problem.
Now, yeah, threatening a real ice res on R&D as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, already being at 6 makes it really difficult for Ketzol to do any kind of like not guaranteed push. Like Ari's shown, okay, we have a second
That's
measure.
interesting.
And we're just taking the damage.
Because it
2
makes us
strike
$4.
funds going down, giving $4. Is
I
there
love
a
it when I shoot him and then he makes $4. Brutal. That are silly. Oh gosh. Okay. Well,
So it's coming down to the wire. Like the point
yeah.
difference is very large, but Ari has only, I think, 4 cards in the stack, maybe 5.
Hmm.
Going through another anemone would be pretty dangerous. Running R&D here could mean the Bladderwort will do you a net damage.
Yeah, the bladder word is
Hey,
a
just
big
like
thing.
4 clicks to draw.
Yeah, the
Seems
bladder word is a big
seems
threat.
reasonable. All right, Oko trigger. We see a Fut in hand and
It's
maybe
pretty
another
nice.
anemone.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Smack.
Another Samak, it looks like.
Yeah.
Samak hitting the bin.
Okay. Oh, interesting. But behind Lion's Mane, we haven't seen a single hybrid yet, have we? So Fut behind... Oh, wow, but not Rest, if that is Fut?
No, the turn is not done yet. I think they're just thinking about Lagu. Okay.
Oh, Lago happens.
Lagu
Oh.
being used to trash Strike Fund and
Oh
bottom
no!
and draw it.
Okay, well, Audrey wasn't shot out of hand, was it? I don't think so. So Audrey still is in hand, is one of the cards that was drawn.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So we still have Infinite Strike Fund on board.
Yes, that sounds right. Infinite Strike Fund referring to the fact that with Buffer Drive, you get to play a Strike Fund every turn, or trash a Strike Fund every turn to Audrey, and bottom it back. So you have a 2 credit per turn drip. Actually,
Okay.
if Lagu triggers, it's actually 4 credits per turn, I think.
Great. So we installed, and did not res Fut. But here comes a Paladin paid for Tungsten. Twinning is charged to
There's
2.
actually no other ways to charge twinning, I think, because we
Yeah.
gave up the Mamie, so there's only the Paladin.
And the
And the
Boomerang is
Boomerang
stranded.
on it.
Although
Well,
not... No, it is. It is, because you can't ever... It's not like you can over-install Boomerang. Because the buffer drive could always bring it back.
That ice could just get rezzed at some point, is the only way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're running archives, so I think we're calling out a Regenesis here. Maybe. No res. Ketzol checking archives and showing an anemone and Bladderwort. Interesting. Don't know that the anemone. I would have expected an anemone to hit the bin, but
So now what do you do as runner? I think seeing that nothing has been in archives, I think hand might also make sense. To check hand with... to legwork effectively with twinning. HQ maybe...
like what is the biggest threat on the board? I don't. I guess you don't want to take damage.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
On the table, Ari runs it.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I mean, Ketzol outplayed me, right? Put the agenda out onto the board instead of keeping it in hand. But ultimately, with a Hannah sitting around, it's still a pretty dangerous proposition.
Yeah.
Well played by both.
Good lines from both players. We saw Ari really disciplined control play here. Really great stuff from Ketzol and Ari.
Yeah.
That was round
Yeah.
two.